All right. Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from. Welcome to today's edition of Emigrate Open Day. I would just like to confirm if you can hear us, and please confirm on chat. I know you're unable to unmute yourself for now, but you can just confirm on your chat if you are able to hear us. And also, please confirm if you're able to see my screen. We'll be waiting to see your chat. Also, we'll just allow another 30 seconds or so to get people in the room, those in the waiting room. Thank you. I see your comments. Thank you. Welcome for those just joining us. Welcome to this edition of Emigrate's Open Day. Yeah, I see your messages, so I think we'll just crack on with it then. Welcome, as I said earlier, welcome to this edition of Emigrate's Open Day. What Emigrate does is it focuses on tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement. And we also say we are focusing on tech-enabled visa opportunities. Today's session, we've got a lot to cover, so we will try and push as quickly as possible because today we will start by just sharing some introduction around what Emigrate is and what we stand for as a community. And then we'll be going to Germany. Our guest is already in the house. Mr. Sunday is already in the house already. And then we're open, we would have time to do a few open consultation sessions also during this edition of Emigrate Open Day. Open consultation is a format where we can invite you on stage and you can ask any question that you have. It may be about Germany specifically or about the opportunities that our guests will speak about today, or it may also be about some of the other things we've spoken about in the past around the Emigrate community. Please bear in mind, however, that this session is being recorded and also being live streamed. As such, please do not ask questions if you're on stage specifically that is private or is private with private information. That being said, welcome again. We'll be having our guest who is a full stack software engineer based in Berlin, Germany, and he is going to be sharing with us his experience. He'll be sharing with us from his wealth of knowledge and particularly around his own experience, but also he will be pointing us as a community to information that we may not have been aware of in the past. But before I go on, I'll just share a bit around what Emigrate is. I would also say that we've had quite a number of Emigrate Open Days in the past with videos available, people speaking about the US, Germany today, Canada, the UK, several different countries where different things have been mentioned in terms of opportunities available to us as tech professionals. During the last edition, we also highlighted, particularly around the UK Tech Nation visa, that there were some changes that were made in October 2021, and that you should please go and check what those changes are because some of them may affect you particularly. What is Emigrate? Yes, many of us came to this session because of our interest in one visa type or the other. But one of the things we say is that the visa itself is only a side effect. It's only a side effect of something, an objective that if you are globally attractive, many countries of the world are interested in asking you to come to their country to come and contribute to their economy. When we say globally attractive in Emigrate, we are currently focused on two types. Either a globally attractive tech profile as a tech professional, highly experienced with the right combination of experience, exposure, and also the right combination of skill. The second one is it could also be a tech-enabled business where your startup itself may be your visa and maybe even your ticket to whatever host country that you are interested in. The reason why this is available is not because these countries are doing you a favor. No, not at all. It's because you are a talent. And because you're a talent, they want you to come to their jurisdiction to bring your innovation, bring your talent, bring your energy, come and create jobs in that country, and several other things like that. Come and help them develop the next unicorn, and so many other things like that. Because many forward-thinking countries already understand that the next battle is around tech and around tech talent, and so they want you in their country to build those technology in itself. And that's the reason why many of these visas are available. And so for us at Emigrate, what we would like you to take away from here is, yes, learn about these opportunities available, plan for them, but also plan around getting yourself globally attractive. Don't forget that the visa itself, when you get to your host country, you will still need to earn income. You will still need to add value. You will still need to get a job or start a startup and so on. And so the onus lies on you to say, start building things that you will need even in your next phase as well. As Emigrate, we have a bunch of services that are available to you, and there are several of them that are free. And so we are here to help, and it's up to you to be able to take advantage of all of these that is available to you even immediately. It starts from information and inspiration, because we discovered that many people do not even know that a lot of these opportunities exist. And some that know that exist, some of them do not think that they would qualify. And so they need some sort of inspiration, right? And maybe motivation as well, to say you can actually target this. And these are some of the things that we do within the Emigrate community. We also have the Emigrate community on WhatsApp and on Telegram. It's a free community at this point where you can ask questions, and you can also interact with other members of the community who are also on the same journey as you. We do the monthly open day twice a month for now, where we focus and we invite guests who different countries of the world have said, oh, these people are globally attractive. And we invite them to come and share their experience around how they did it, around their own unique journey and personal journey, and also maybe help with a roadmap or more information to members of our community. We do have introductory videos as well that you can watch for you to be able to learn more about all these different opportunities that are available across many countries of the world. We do the Emigrate Open consultation occasionally, where you can actually ask questions, and we'll be having a couple of open consultation sessions later on in today's edition. We also have the short inquiry sessions. For now, we're only able to do one short inquiry session for free per individual. And so what that means is that before you book that session where you want to ask more specific questions around you, because no two people are the same, different circumstances, different levels, and several other things. Before you book that, we ask that please consume all the other services that are available for free before you book the short inquiry session, where you can ask more targeted questions around your own specific journey. On the premium side, we do have services as well that are premium and they are paid for. Most of the time, we are charging for our time. One of them is around Emigrate Circle, which is a premium community of people who are more targeted in terms of on this journey, and they are ready to take the next step. We have the personalized consultation, standard package, and then the Emigrate Premium, which is a full-fledged 1 to 2 year coaching service around the things that you need. If you're interested in any of this, the links are on the screen, and then you can indicate interest in them. Some of the things our services would cover will be things like general inquiry, will be things like coaching and handholding. If you need some sort of assessment around your qualification or your status for specific visa types, some of these are some of the services that we do offer. If you need a roadmap to say, oh, I want to qualify for some of these within the next couple of months, right? We can help with that in terms of a roadmap, and we are able to provide Emigrate coaches who are able to help you and hold you along this journey. And then, of course, for example, with the Global Talent Visa, if you need help with reviewing your application, we are available to help with that. If you need help with an endorsement review process around the Global Talent application as well, the Emigrate service is available for that as well. The key point here is that Emigrate is designed for you, particularly if you are focused on tech-enabled visa opportunity. It starts with a free community. It starts with a lot of free services, and you can start from there to make sure that you get to the next level that you want to get to, because your country of origin needs you to be successful. your country of origin needs you to be successful. And sometimes you being successful means that you go global. You being successful means that you should have options. You can decide to stay in your country of origin, or you can decide to go anywhere else. You would have options because you are globally attractive, and that's important. Bincom Dev Center is the host of Emigrate, and Bincom Dev Center has a bunch of other services. One of them is the Bincom Global Tech Program. It's a 1 to 2 year program that helps you to do a combination of learning skills, gaining experience, and also gaining exposure in the field of technology. You could be a beginner or you can be intermediate. For a beginner, if you need to start from the scratch up to a point where you can become globally attractive within a 1 to 2 year period. This program is available to you. It will start you from learning the right skills that you need. It will then be able to gain the right experience and then the exposure. If you already have the skill and then what you are lacking is experience and exposure, this program is also available to you because you can start from a slightly more advanced level of the program, and then it will focus you on the things that is required in your profile for these countries of the world to be able to see you as globally attractive, for employers to be able to want you, and for you to be able to add value to yourself. The cost of the program is 1.2 million naira for the 1 to 2 year period, but the company is also able to bet on you to say that you only start paying when you get a high-paying job in the field of technology. And so the company is actually interested in investing in you as well. It's not a very easy program in any means, whether you are from the beginner stage or you are starting from the intermediate stage, because you would need to dedicate time to your own career growth. But what you would have is a team that is interested in that success, and that's your success. Gets more interesting. The Bincom Global Tech Program that I've just mentioned actually incorporates the Emigrate Premium service that I had mentioned earlier, which is the full-fledged coaching program. So it incorporates the Emigrate process in addition to everything else that we mentioned. For some of us that are highly advanced and have advanced skill in the field of technology, we also have the Bincom Mentoring Platform, and we're asking that subscribe to that platform and mentor a few people. One of the things a lot of people don't realize is that one of the ways you can show yourself as globally attractive is by mentoring. We've shown you that in terms of some of the criteria required for the UK, for the US, and so on. You need to be able to mentor other people and point at those people to say, these are the people I've mentored and these are the people I've pulled up. Why? Because those countries of the world want to see, in some cases, that, oh, you will be able to bring up people in their society to also become globally attractive as you are as well. For us, Emigrate started because we realized that many people within our own organization did not know about these opportunities. And some of them that knew about the opportunities, they were not targeting them. They were not taking them seriously. Maybe because of, I'm from Nigeria, maybe because of how our polity has dealt with some people. They don't realize that when they say, oh, exceptional talent, they may be talking about you, and that you can actually build your profile to become that exceptional talent, highly experienced, technology professional. That can be you. And many people within our ecosystem will realize we're not just interested in some cases, or we're not even aware in many other cases that these things are available. For us at Emigrate right now, what we are doing is we've taken it as a mantle to say we want to get as many people as possible to become globally attractive, because then we will be building Nigeria as well. Because at the worst case, even if people emigrate out of Nigeria, they will send remittance back to Nigeria. And what we're doing at the moment is information and coaching and handholding and strategy and consultation and advisory, and also building a community of people who are interested in this same journey as well. And that's what Emigrate is, and that's what we're trying to do. In the future, we look forward to it becoming its own startup that is focused on that, helping people become globally attractive. I'll just end with this, that please understand that the difference between immigrants and expatriates is the side of the pond that you are traveling from as of today. If you are traveling from one side, from Africa to the world, you are called an immigrant. If you are traveling from the world to Africa, you are called an expatriate. And so, yes, we may not be able to change what this nomenclature is today, but are you able to travel from Africa out to the world as an expatriate? What do I mean by that? For you to have the right level of skill, for you to have the right level of experience and the right level of exposure. But it gets better. You need to also understand that, oh, these are the opportunities that are available, because at the end of the day, if they want to know if you're globally attractive, there are criteria and there are conditions and there are things that you need to meet in terms of your profile. And we'll be hearing about Germany today, but these are some of the tech-enabled visa opportunities that are available all over the world as of today. From France, that has the French tech visa, and from Canada, that has the startup visa. The US has the EB1, O1, EB2 visa. The UK has the global talent visa, and several others. You may want to take a screenshot of this particular slide. The key point is that there are opportunities for you if you are only able to show yourself as the person that they are looking for. I'll be handing over to our guest for today, Sunday. Mr. Sunday has a very, very interesting journey, and we're looking forward to hearing about particularly his journey, his experience, and then also opportunities that are available to tech professionals, particularly in Germany. And so that being said, my name is Bade Adeshemowo. I'm co-founder and CTO of Social Lender, and I hand you over to Mr. Sunday. You're on mute.
Yeah, sometimes the mute button can be deceiving. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Bade, for giving me opportunity to compass some information to our audience today. My name is Sunday, and I'm a software engineer that's based in Berlin. I'm also from Nigeria, from the eastern part of Nigeria. And I've been in Germany now for about 3 years also. So let's talk about the journey, how I got here. So for me, I have key years that are like milestones in my journey, and I'm just going to mention these years and tell you something that are significant about them. So in 2010, I am more or less blank. There's nothing up there in my head about programming. I do not know anything about programming. I only know how to turn on the computer and probably send music to phone. And this I also learned by myself by looking at what others are doing. So by this time I was still living with my uncle and also helping him to self-provision. So, so by 2012, I studied multimedia technology, which I joined late 2010. And this 2012 was the last 2 years that I need to come out from this multimedia training. And this is where I get to understand what programming is. And I pick interest on it and started pushing myself to learn more, even though what I was studying is video editing and how to use cameras. So my interest changed, and during my IT placement, I decided to venture into IT companies rather than radio station and the news outlet where I can use cameras and videos. So I happened to apply to several, but Bincom called me for interview, and I got accepted. That was September 2012. And this is my first time I want to put my knowledge into test. More like entry. I'm not even sure if I'm close to entry developer. So I'm still very, very, very young in the field of programming. I lived with Bincom, slept in Bincom apartment. We did a couple of projects, and from 2012, I was at Bincom until 2016. So that was the longest journey ever with an organization for me. So 2016 was significant because it's not because we are doing bad at Bincom. At 2016, I'm one of the senior associates in Bincom and earning good salary. So I had to leave because I look at myself that I'm not there yet. I want to learn some things, and Bade can testify, we have a lot of projects in Bincom that gets you busy. So it's really hard for me as a then to venture into personal development. So, and that is one of the reasons I decided to leave. And the next place I went, I dropped everything I know because I was doing PHP, JavaScript. When I got there, I told them, hey, I'm here to learn, not even to start working. And I told them I know nothing. I want to learn new fields, everything new for me. So I started learning Python 2016. That is what I started, and I took a pay cut from what I was earning, think about 40% pay cut when I started. Just to tell you how curious I am to actually start learning new stuff. And yep, after I think I was there within 5 months, I got a remote job from this same company that I started working for a company in the US, and same Python. I had to learn Python for 4 months, I think, 4 months plus. So the 5th month, I was placed on an engagement, and I was doing Python and React as at then. I was with this organization for 2 years till 2018. Again, it wasn't that the place was bad or I'm doing badly. I happened to learn a lot and grew very fast that I decided to move out of Nigeria. And one of the reasons is not because of the job, but because I plan to settle down as at then. And I didn't want to settle down with my family in Nigeria. So I wanted to move out to settle abroad. So, and since I'm already working with a foreign organization, even while in Nigeria, for these 2 years, I was working for organization in the US. So when I decided to move, US wasn't fancy for me because of a lot of chaotic news that I hear, and this is a place I want to actually build a family. So I decided to look for other country. Then I found out Germany was most favorable for family. So if you want to really relocate with a family, Germany is your best place. They have a lot of benefit for family. Not as a young man, you pay a lot for as a young man, you pay a lot of taxes and all. At least almost close to 45% of your earnings in tax, but you get the infrastructure and all. But when you have family, government start giving you back those money. So they pay you for your kids, they pay for your kids' education, and they give you so many allowances for not working because of your child, and the rest. The list goes on and on. So once you have family, you start benefiting from the system. So 2018, I had to look for another job that can take me out of Nigeria. I don't want to work remote. I want to go on site. And I got that job. I think my first application clicked, and I had to relocate. And everything was done by the company, by the way. I didn't spend not one pin for me. Yep. So 2020, I'm fully in Germany, and about 2 years, and I have my wife with me. I married 2019, which I had to go back to Nigeria to go get married. And 2020, she joined me. And after a month, she joined me. She gave birth to our lovely daughter. So so 2020 was a horrible year in the world, but it was beautiful for me. So many things happened that are glorious in 2020. So now I'm here with my daughter and wife, and we are fully complete. So that is much about me. And the good thing about this is that you can replicate my journey. There's no rocket science in what I did. I told you from 2010, I'm blank, and 2010 to 2020 is just 10 years. And in 10 years, right here, I can tell you it's better from whatever I have been previous years. And I can tell you it's easy to replicate. Not even now, when I started, I think till 2013, I still don't have phone. I don't have phone that I can call that I have phone. So right now, there are so many gadgets that can really increase this journey. For me, it took 10 years, I call it, though it's less, but for you right now, it might be 1 year, 2 years, depend on how curious and how much you need it. You can replicate exactly the same journey, and it's that easy. What does it take? One, like I said, is my taste for knowledge. I was hungry for knowledge. I wanted to build myself. I wanted to put something in here a lot. Even though I was boss at Bincom, I can use that word. I had to downgrade myself to a servant in order to step up to the particular level that I'm aiming for. So taste for knowledge. Secondly is patience. You have to be patient and put in the hard work. I know we had a lot of sleepless nights while at Bincom, doing some certain things, learning stuff on the job that we have no idea how to do. We had to do overnight and all sometimes. And this, a lot of people will quit, to say, oh, I didn't sign up for this, but if I have quit at that time, I probably will not be here. My journey would have probably derailed to somewhere else. So you need the patience, and you need to put in the work. And the lastly is timing. Timing is actually one of the things that I feel like I got it right. I think sometimes in 2015, someone gave me offer to bring me to Canada. I turned it down. 2015, I had almost nothing much, but I had to turn this offer down because I know I am not there yet. Because if I go there, I probably start struggling and all. But not everyone might have it good like that, what I'm looking for. So I had to turn it down, and later 2018, I still moved anyways. But going with full package of myself. I know I'm ready, and I know I can take anything. So timing is also very important. You need to figure out when you are truly ready for this journey, and take the bold step. And yeah, that is what Immigrate is helping you to do, to help you to get you to that standard where you are globally attractive. And with your patience and hard work into it, I believe the journey will be smooth and easy for you. What are the opportunities that are out there? For me, I started with remote jobs. So I was working for a foreign company while in Nigeria. So these opportunities are out there. If you improve your knowledge, build yourself, make yourself globally attractive, the keyword. If you are in that position, you can easily get a remote job out there. And there are a couple of services out there now that makes this even easier. So you don't have to talk to the client yourself. I think they do outsourcing, and a couple of them like that provide these services. For me, it wasn't really hard to get this job once I know I'm at that point where I could apply for any job and feel confident that I'll go through their interviews. So there are these remote jobs, you can get them. There are a lot of them, and especially COVID made it even more. So right now, you can check that out. Another one is there are jobs that also provide relocation. These are the two paths I took. I started with remote job. I was making the money. I was in Nigeria earning dollars, and the money was good. I can tell you, but sometimes Nigerian system will always punch you, and you feel like you want to run away, right? That is what happens to me, and why I decided to make sure I start my family not in that ground. So I decided to look at the second opportunity, which is a job that offers relocation. So because I don't know where I'm going, so I needed, some people to take care of that for me. And that's why I was looking for a job that has relocation attached to it. And I got it. So there are a lot of jobs like that. It's not like a one-off. There are so many jobs that offers relocation service included. And once you get the job, everything will be sorted out for you. So those are the two opportunities I want to mention. And you want to say, how do I acquire the skills, or where do I get these jobs? It's easy, like I mentioned before. These are a couple of lists of how you can build up your skills, acquire those necessary skill level that you might seek. We have Free Code Camp, we have Codecademy, Tutorial Points, W3 Schools, Pluralsight, Coursera, Udemy, and the bottom ones there, YouTube and Google. You see, That last two, they are free tools that point you to several other free tools. So if you are ready to build yourself, if you are ready to put in the work, you don't actually now need to pay anything in order to build yourself skill-wise. Pluralsight and Coursera, I think, and Udemy are paid courses. I think they also have free courses. Free Code Camp is free. Codecademy is free at some point, and there are some paid version. If you want to go more, Tutorial Point is free. W3 School is free. I think they also offer paid courses. You know, depending on how curious you are and how determined you are, you can get almost any course at any field in any variation. Is it data science, software development? You can get here for mostly, some of them are free. Also, where to get jobs, Stack Overflow. If you're a programmer, this name wouldn't be an alien for you. We use this a lot to get solution to problem that we are facing, but also they do job listing here. The place I got the job for the relocation is in Stack Overflow. So that is where I got that job that I used to move. And LinkedIn also, here you can see it as where you create your resume. So if you pimp up your LinkedIn profile, you might probably get recruiters knocking and asking you to come in for job. For me, I get at least 2 entries a week, at least, at minimum. People inviting me for job offers in LinkedIn. And I also got a job in LinkedIn anyways. The place I'm currently on now, the listing was placed on LinkedIn. Not the first job that got me here. I already moved away from there, and I'm in another organization, and I used LinkedIn for that. So these top two I have used, and it works pretty well for job listing. Then we have Indeed. I added Google there also because it's like a bucket for different things, right? Probably not Google listing the job, but if you search on Google for remote jobs or jobs that offer relocation, you'll probably get thousands of options. Then we have VanHack and Relocate Me. Those places, they do job listing, and you can get any of these opportunities from there. Yeah, let's talk about visa types. Visa types that are available, I'm just going to talk about Germany. So the first one there is job seeker visa. It's maximum of 6 months. They give you 6 months to come in, and you stay in your particular location and look for job. One thing I realized is immediately I moved here, I changed my location on LinkedIn to Berlin. I started getting more offers. So sometimes location can be a barrier to some jobs, right? So using job seeker visa could help you on that. So if you're able to move yourself from where you are to another location where you want to get a job, change your profile and put in that location, you will get job faster. The second one is work visa. This is the one I came here with. You get to apply for work visa if you have a work contract. So for me, I was in Nigeria when I got a job in Germany, so I had to apply for work visa. because I have the work contract with me. And I applied for this directly by myself. I filled out the forms that they need. I went in for the interview and I got my visa. No third party involved, no agency and agents, whatever. So once you have your work contracts, just apply for this visa type and you'll get it. And the last one is family reunion visa. This one is if you have a family where you are trying to go and this person is able to bring you if they have the finance. If they can prove that they can support you for time being, you can apply for this visa or they can help you to apply for this visa. This is what my wife came with, family reunion visa. Because of the issues with visa in Nigeria, I had to use a third party here in, they have office here in Germany. They are called Visa Rights. So we paid, I think, 500 euro for visa, for the process fee, but they made communication with the Nigerian embassy very smooth. You know, Nigerian embassies, they messes with you sometimes when you are trying to bring your family. So with these guys, the communication was smooth and it was pretty fast for my wife, although Nigerian factor has still presented itself, but it was easier. So you can also check them out if any of your family want to help you to move over. You can also go through this route. And I think that is it. If you want to get more information about this, you can check schengenvisainfo.com/Germany visas to get more info. There are other visa types that I don't mention here because they're not relevant to this discussion. You can get more info by yourself there. And that is my LinkedIn URL. You can join my connection. I'll be sure to add you. When you have a connection chain like that, you are more visible to companies. So feel free to send me invite on LinkedIn and I can do that to boost your profile also. Yeah, that's it. I pass the ball to Mr. Badi.
Wow. Thank you so much, Sunday. I'm sure the audience will have a lot of questions already. I'll just put you on spotlight. Yeah, if you can, yeah, I'll just put you on spotlight. You can stop sharing your screen as well. And I'll put myself on spotlight. Yeah. I'm sure we would have a lot of questions from the audience because it seems like you made it sound so easy that, oh, you can just do it. You can just go and get a job immediately and then just move to Germany immediately and all of that. Do you want to emphasize a bit around the level of skill that you add? Because I know you were talking about recruiters finding you on LinkedIn and all of that. And I know that they don't just find anybody. So there were skills that you add and all of that you were able to signal. Do you want to emphasize that a bit? And also around the recruitment process with some of the companies that you've had to work for?
Yeah. Again, I don't know how to quantify the knowledge that I had. So, but for me, portfolio is what that matters, right? I worked with a US company for over 2 years, and this is a really big booster when I applied for a job in Germany. When they see I've been working for a US company, this made it easy. And again, of course, there are recruitment process. They will send you a project even to work on, and you submit this project and they have to review it. And once you meet their standard, you move to the next one, which is to discuss the contract, right? So I think it was easy for me because I already have that skill. So the level of skill, I don't know how to put it.
You have to
But
be highly
I'm a senior dev. So.
skilled. Thank you for that, Sunday. So well, let's just say highly skilled, and I guess our audience can also go check what that means for their specific career path and all. I'm seeing questions in the chat already. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. Somebody is asking that if they have data analytics and UX design as their skill, are there pathways in terms of Germany as well? Are there vacancies in that particular field?
Data science is one of the trending role right now, I would say. So if you are good with data and you can work with Python, you are probably one of the people they are looking for. So yeah, if you go to those links or those names I mentioned where you can get job, look for data science jobs. If you are good that you can manipulate data using Python, you are a highly skilled person and they need you, I will say. For UX, that one is always tricky, but there are opportunities there, not as data science, not as a software engineer, but the opportunity is definitely there.
Thank you for that. I see questions dropping in, and hopefully if we have time, we would have a few people come on stage as well. But yeah, somebody says they are trying to follow the same step you've taken. Would you recommend learning software engineering for the first time to also focus on Python and React? Yeah, would you recommend someone learning software engineering to focus on Python and React, or it can be any programming language?
Can be any programming language, but as someone that wants to move fast, you don't bound yourself to a programming language. I think that is one of the should I say, what's the word now? That's one of the things that pushed me forward fast. I didn't focus on, oh, I know how to do PHP. I just want to stick to PHP. I was doing PHP. I decided to go learn Python, not because there's no opportunity for PHP. I want to be versatile. So if you want to start with Python and React, go for it. With those two, thousands of jobs are waiting for you. And so the same applies to any programming language that you could think of.
Fantastic. I would also say, please ensure that you are building expertise. And so not that, oh, you just know how to do Hello World in PHP, then you jump to Python and then it's only Hello World you can write. And then you jump to React and then it's only Hello World you can write. If you can, yes, build as many as possible, but start with one and start with expertise in that one. Then also don't get stuck with, oh, it's only this one that I know. If you need to also expand your horizon, then ensure that you do so as well. I would just add that to it. But how long would it take? So, I mean, imagine someone wanted to start from scratch today and say, oh, fine, they want to see how they can become highly skilled and also possibly relocate to Germany. Do you think it would take the 10 years that it took you, or do you think it will take shorter, or what are your thoughts around that really? Are there opportunities for junior developers or only for senior developers?
Again, for junior dev, you getting a relocation job is probably harder. So I would say venture for a remote job first to get the experience. So you can't just finish learning and try to move over immediately without any experience, any working experience. That is not advisable. So in time of the time, right now it all depends on the person. How fast can you learn? How is your problem-solving skills? It's not about even the programming. Problem-solving skills is something out of programming. It doesn't even have to do with any programming language. So there are some people that they have it inside of them, and there are people that have to learn and do a lot of practice to improve their problem-solving skills. So if you already have this, learning programming will be a breeze for you. It might even take, it took me 4 months to learn Python and React. Because I already have a background in programming and my problem-solving skill is way up there. So I grabbed Python and React, and it was a breeze. I was able to move very fast. In that 4 months, I built a project because we were learning on the job. So I built a project that was delivered in that 4 months. So for you, having no knowledge about programming before, I would say you give yourself first 6 months, then you evaluate your knowledge, then the next 6 months to put your hand on a project. Make sure you are working on something that you can actually show that this thing is out there and you worked on it.
Thank you for that. And then someone is asking around the job seeker visa, that what happens after the 6 months, and then does the visa lead to settlement?
Just like the name is, he's a job seeker. So it doesn't lead to settlement. It only leads to settlement if you get a job and your visa is changed. So the job seeker visa only give you 6-month window to look for a job. So once that 6 months elapse and you don't have a job, you have to go back to where you're coming from, because probably you're not able to secure a job with your current skill. So if you're going for job seeker visa, make sure you have the skill set that is required. Then you can apply for this visa. And once you get a job, your visa will be changed to more permanent one.
Yeah, and please note that when they ask you to go back, you would have to go back for the same 6 months before you can apply again for the same visa. So it makes sense that before you do something like that, you want to ensure that you have all the skill and also the experience and exposure needed, so that the only reason why you need that type of visa is because you want to be physically in Germany, which makes it easier for you to find a job. You should probably get that visa at the point where you already have recruiters already contacting you to say, hey, we see your profile and we think that it looks interesting, rather than you going and then that's when you're trying to learn and all of that. People have done it and it's possible for you to do that. We know of people that studied and then got job seeker visa, and then what's the name? So it's not like it's impossible. It's just that something you should consider. Somebody is asking around digital marketing. Are there opportunities for them? Somebody else is asking around IT support as well. Changing to cloud architect. So digital marketing, IT support, cloud architect. Are there opportunities for these different fields, particularly in Germany as well?
I can tell you that almost any field in IT, it's viable, and you can get a list of jobs. There are just some that are more needed because then you are not in the location. So some of those jobs, they favor people that are on site. So, but there are some of the skills that, yes, they can pay anything to bring you over. So Yeah, the opportunities are there.
Yeah. Let's go back to your story. And you spoke about a few things, and I wanted to just ask, you did mention around the fact that you considered different countries before settling on focusing on, I'm not sure if you focused on Germany, or was it that you focused on Europe and then Germany came about? Or but were there other countries you considered? There are people that are probably in the position you were just before you decided to relocate. Were there some reasons why you chose, oh, this place and not this place? You started speaking about it during your presentation, but I thought to just ask around that again.
Yeah. Again, at some point in my life, I didn't want to go and live abroad. I wanted to go and visit and come back home. So when I decided that I want to move, I think I went to the US to visit the people I was working with. And I think that is Austin, Texas. The environment was good. I was considering there. And that place was even easier for me because I already have a job there. So, but the downside of it was the general notion in the US, the natural disaster, sometimes human disaster. Those are something that discourages me from there. Even though I already have a job there, the company didn't want me to leave. When I told them I am leaving them because I'm relocating to Germany, they offered to relocate me to Austin, Texas, if that's what I wanted. So, but that wasn't, that was just my own decision about not going for US. I also considered Canada and Germany. Those three countries are the countries I was looking at. I didn't send any application to Canada. I just eliminated them because I said it was too cold. I didn't send any application there. So I just eliminated it by choice and decided that Germany is the place after reading all the benefits for families and the rest. It just piqued my interest. And I decided to send application. The funny thing is my first application is what I, I used to relocate. So I didn't have to send so many.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so if you're listening, I guess one of the things you should probably hear is the fact that Sunday had many choices. He could have chosen anywhere in the world he wanted to go to because he had the prerequisite skill and experience at that stage as well. But were you not worried about having to learn German? Because I know you have to speak a little bit of German towards settlement and all of that. Was that an issue?
One, the company I was going for, their primary language is English. So this wasn't a problem for me. And again, for developers, language is never a barrier because mostly all the companies they speak English. And Berlin specifically have a lot of foreign people here. So English is likely to be heard more compared to other parts of Germany. So it wasn't a barrier for me. Although it can be sometimes when we go to Bürgeramt, which is the government office here. So in government office, everyone speaks German there. So you have to now practice what you've been learning.
I still have a bunch of questions for you. Sunday, I don't know if we can have an extra 30 minutes or so on this call. Is that possible?
It's fine. It's fine.
So what we'll do is we'll just because we did promise that we'll do a few open consultation during today's edition. And so if you want to come on stage to have a conversation, you can just switch on your camera and then raise your hand on Zoom. For you to raise your hand on Zoom, you would need to use under reaction, you will see raise hand there. and we can't spotlight you if you don't have your camera on. And so if you're interested in coming on stage and asking questions, it can be particularly around Germany, where Sunday, who is currently in Germany, is able to answer, or it could be something around some of the things that we do in Emigrate community, and I will be able to answer that, as well as if there are other countries of interest. Please remember that this is being live streamed, and so don't share anything personal or private, but do ask questions that are personal to you. Also, we cannot put you on spotlight if your camera is not on, and so you will need to switch on your camera as well. So if you would like to come on spotlight, okay, I see one hand already, and then I'm just going to put you on spotlight and you can unmute yourself. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And you?
Very good. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. I think this section is really helpful. Because one of my plans is actually moving to Germany. Some of my friends already they already got their visas, and probably early next year they'll be moving to Germany. So now the question is, I want to ask, like, the job seeker visa, like, most of my friends, they use the school route, because they were like, the only best sure way to go abroad is school. Like, is there other like sure routes that can get you to Germany without actually going to school? Because if I eventually pass through school, I might not finish the school, because my main aim is just to get to Germany and get a job, and not mainly because of school. So yeah, that's my question.
Over to you, Sunday.
Yeah. One thing I always discourage people from is trying to force themselves into a place. You don't have to. Yes, the situation of the country sometimes makes people to turn this way, but when you are doing it this way, then it tends to be frustrating at times. So if you focus more on developing yourself and making yourself attractive, I think it's a better way. Don't go through school because you want to drop out, and that even is worse. I think it will make your record even not okay, especially for Germany. Germany, they like track record. So here, your credit score is everything, your behavior, attitude. They have a lot of things they check here. So doing that one is not, if you think you want to come here through education, make sure it's something that you want to use to build yourself, and you have to go through it. So that is very important. I know a lot of people get temporary visas and start hiding and doing all sort of stuff. That will never help you. It will shortchange what you could be. That's what I would say. So if you know where you want to work in your future, if you know where you want to be, and you don't have that knowledge now, is either talk to Bade, they create a plan for you, and the journey path where you follow to get to that point whereby you can confidently walk into the office consulate and collect visa, or if it's education part, you make sure you are applying for what you are going to learn and use it to, start up your own, your career also. Yeah.
I would just add that you want to have options. The fact that you are trying, let me put it this way. By now, recruiters should be looking for you, particularly if you are in tech. If you've built the right level of experience, right? If location is the problem, change on your LinkedIn that you're in Berlin right now and check if people would actually be interested in you.
Yeah.
Right? Change to other locations as well and see if they would actually be interested in you. The key point I'm saying, and which is the same thing that Sunday is saying, is that you have different options, right? You don't have to go the route that every one of your friends have gone through, because there are easier options that you can take, particularly if you're highly skilled and highly experienced.
Yeah. One question, like, the thing is, I get a lot of.
So you have like 1 more minute because other people are trying to come on as well. So
okay,
ask quickly.
Okay. So like Sunday said, like you need to believe. Like I'm more of a intermediate engineer. Like I have the experience and I'm confident in what I do. So is it like advisable, like I should go for the job, seeker visa to move down to Germany, like on my own sponsor, like I'll sponsor myself.
Okay. Go ahead.
You are intermediate, you trust your job if you can prove, because one of the requirements for job seeking visa is that you have to show that the job you are looking for, that you are qualified for it. So if you are able to prove this, I think they should be able to grant you a job seeking visa.
Thank you so much. I'll just drop you now, and then please remember you need to have your video on for us to be able to put you on stage. I have one hand up, but your video is not on, so I can't put you on spotlight. Okay, yes, you're on now. And spotlight, and yeah. Good evening. How can we help? You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, good evening. Okay, first things first. My name is Anthony Ikemefuna, software engineer.net. Well, until now, I mean, I kind of joined later. I kind of joined later when this session started, right? But I was able to get a few things from the discussion. And I must say that until now, I now want to probably do a few more research on Germany and its relocation processes, right? But my question is, on the workers' visa, how long would that take? How long would that take? And how long does it take? And do I need to get a job? Do I need to get a connect? Because usually, like recently, I've got lots of contact with UK gigs, like Ukraine, Europe, and some other places. But most of the barriers are really location and all. So I just want to know, do I need to get a job first before getting into Germany? Or can I come in, if they have this skilled worker program or something of sorts? I don't know. If there is my question is simply, if I need a job to come into the skilled worker visa or so, like you mentioned, and how long it takes for that process, simply.
Let me just start by saying that different countries have their different requirements, right? So you probably want to do a bit more research around Germany and what their requirement is. Skilled worker route is available in the UK, for example, right? But in Germany, what they do have available that, I'm aware of, and I'm sure Sunday would help with this as well, are some of the ones he's mentioned. There's also the digital nomad freelancer is what it's called in Germany, and there are a few other visa types that has not been mentioned, but you need to probably research the ones that you are interested in, understand the requirements, and then be able to say, am I able to target this as well? Sunday, I don't know if you want to react to his question.
Getting the work visa, one, you already need to have a work in the country. So if you get job outside and you want to apply for the visa, I think from mine, it was more like a speedy process because my work contract start date was already a little bit over when they called me for interview, when they gave me an interview date. So it was like 1 week or so, the process from the interview to the day I collected my visa. It's like a 1 week interval. So this doesn't take time, provided that you've got yourself a job and this company wants you to relocate and they've sent you the work contract. So if I understand your question correctly.
Yeah, I get. So you must get a job before you go to apply for the visa. I think that's just the question.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct. All right. So Sunday, a few more questions for you would be around working remotely, which was a stage that you passed through before you then relocated officially. How easy was that, getting a remote job? How easy was that by itself? And then are there other things you can mention to people aside from applying? Are there other things that helped in terms of securing those remote jobs aside from your skill?
Yeah, securing remote job, I think it has to do with your skills. Everything boils down to your skills. One thing about all these companies abroad is that they don't behave like the Nigerian company. They don't look at your CV to look at fancy writings. They don't do that because I don't have any of that. My educational background is probably the poorest, if compared to my peers and my colleagues. All right, but the most important thing is your skill, the skill that you have. What are the things that you can do? I remember my first remote job was through a third-party company that does outsourcing, which you can also get from, there is Upworks. That is also a third-party company that you can apply to, and they source out the job and they give you the job, you do it. So there are so many of them like this. There's Code Mentor. This is another one that you can lay your hand on. And you know, the good thing about Code Mentor is that you can start mentoring others, and this can show on your profile how many people, the review they give you. These are actually very important, and you can include it in your LinkedIn or in your resume. This will help boost what you can do or how they perceive you. So mostly they want to see what you have done that is publicly accessible. It can be your personal project. It might not be a project that you are doing for someone else. It might be your personal project that you worked on, but make sure it's visible or somewhere that someone can see it. Use something like GitHub to push whatever you're working on. They want to see your history. How have you been working so far? Those are one of the things. For me, I did a couple of personal projects. Yes, today they are not giving me money, but they helped me to learn, one, and two, they created a track for me. They created footprints for me. So when I apply for a job, I submit my LinkedIn link and GitHub. Once they go here, they will surely invite me for interview and to enter this thing. My CV it didn't help at all. It didn't add anything to me. It is those things that I did that helped quite a lot. So I just, when you are learning, you start doing some projects, push them on GitHub where it's visible. People see how you are writing your code. People see how you are solving your problem. Do some things like HackerRank. That is also another thing that will help boost your profile. When you do HackerRank, they give you badges. They give you badges on the solution you've solved. These are things that you can add to your resume. There are things that you don't need to apply for to get. They are within reach, and you can use it to build up your portfolio. So these are the things, because no matter how you package your CV, they will actually not help you a lot for foreign companies. This works in Nigeria, but not in the foreign companies. They don't care about this a lot. They don't care about it. Mostly they want to see your journey. What have you done? What is your achievement? The place you were, what did you do? Those are the kind of questions they ask you at the first interview. You know, they want to get to know you personally. And that is it. Just try to put footprint where people can see your work. And when you apply for any remote job, they will surely get you on for interview. And if you are confident with yourself, when they give you the technical question or technical project, you're able to knock it out. And once you've done that, forget it, you get the job. That's just it.
Mm-hmm. And for some countries, it's very hard for you to change job because of work sponsorship. It's very difficult to move from one job to the other. So some people are sort of stuck for the 5 years or 6 years that it will take to get permanent residency in that country. I don't want to mention names of countries, but how is it in Germany? Because I noticed you mentioned that you moved a few times even while you're in Germany. Is it very easy to do? Does it get complicated? Does it reset your time in the country before you get your citizenship and things like that?
In Germany, there's something called probation. So you have 6 months probation. So that probation period, if you don't pass through it, you can lose your job. So it's like a trial period. So within that 6 months, you have to show that you are a ninja or that you are what you said you are. So, and for relocation jobs, there is a 2-year contract that you have to fulfill before you can move to another job. So for me, in Germany, that 6 months, within that 6 months, you can terminate or the company can terminate. So the 2-year contract is not in effect within that 6 months of probation. So if you don't pass the probation, the company might terminate your contract, even though they relocated you. And once your contract is terminated, you have 3 months to get another job.
Or leave the country.
Or leave the country, yeah. So for me, I didn't do, one thing is that the team I joined, we had not just the team, the company in total have infrastructure complexities that is making working difficult. And this is one of the reasons why I left. So for me, the contract wasn't binding. because I had to do it within the 6 months.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's not go too much in details on that because we're recording this. Okay, so a few more questions, but let me just ask this one before I then talk about a few things that we do in the Emigrate community to help. You mentioned around pimping your LinkedIn profile during your conversation with us around, are there some tips that you can give people on the call, particularly people at around the same level, advanced level, senior developers and all of that, around pimping their profile? Do you advise them to sign up for LinkedIn Premium? What would you do, or what did you do specifically, and what would you advise particularly developers to do?
I mean, why answering the previous question, I already mentioned a few, like HackerRank, GitHub, and Code Mentor. These are free platforms that you can use to get your job out there. So when you do this, you add it to your LinkedIn profile. It adds to your track record. And if you are working right now as a developer, maybe your company are not using GitHub. There's no way for your work to show or something like that. Then you do some personal projects that you can, or try to look for open source that you can contribute on. I, for one, did not contribute to open source, but I had a lot of side projects that I was working on, and I was pushing it. So it was visible that I was doing something. It was visible. Even the work I was doing with a company in the US wasn't actually visible, but the name of the company alone, that I am working here as an engineer, that helped a lot. So if you put all these things in your LinkedIn, LinkedIn is like your online resume that you can have. So any of your activities that is worth mentioning, make sure you put it on your LinkedIn. Those things help. Recruiters mostly check your LinkedIn profile, and if you're applying for developer stuff, they will check your GitHub. That place, they want to see your commit history. They want to see the things you've contributed in the past. So these are the two things that you want to make visible.
Thank you so much, Sunday. I'll just ask you to speak to the different categories of our Emigrate community. We have three major categories of the community at the moment, of members of the community. And then we have like two subcategories that we've realized that we need to be speaking to directly. So I will start. The first categories are beginners. They haven't really started their journey in tech. They are newbies, 0 year, 2 months, 3 months, learning HTML. And the question is that, what would you advise them right now? What should they be doing? Second category, 5 years, 3 years, 6 years in tech, already built some level of experience, exposure, currently working in tech in one way or the other. What would you advise them, particularly around advancing their skill, showing themselves as globally attractive, and maybe relocation as well? Third category are people that are seniors, 10, 15 years, 20 years, head of IT in banks, head of tech, senior developer there, and all of that. What would you advise them as well? Those three categories, what would you advise each one of them to be doing at this point?
Yeah.
So maybe start with the beginners.
Yeah, the beginners. If you are just an entry developer right now, I would say take heed of what I've said previously about doing personal projects, trying to show yourself relevant in Code Mentor. Those public things that you can do, little things that doesn't need you to get a job to do it. Try to do them. These are the things that will create the journey for you.
Look at it.
Not only the journey, but it will also improve your skills while doing them. Right. And for people that are already at the top there, if you're already there and you are confident of what you can do, I think you should start applying for a remote job. Doesn't matter the country, it shouldn't be the country that you aim to go to. You can apply to any country. Just make sure it's not in Nigeria. Yes.
So they should apply in Ghana. We have some audience member in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire now.
Yeah, yeah. So just make sure, or let's just put it that let it not be in Africa. Let me just use that word. Let it not be in Africa. Let it be offshore. Get any job from any country. Once you work in that company remotely, you will have it in your portfolio. Once you have that, it's a booster. It's a booster shot. Even though it doesn't matter where you are working for those companies, it's irrelevant. That you've worked there is a plus. Maybe you are chief IT of a bank infrastructure right now. Especially the way things are in the country, you might probably not have it. You might say you are a team lead of one company, but when they check the location, there is this
mindset
out there that once is in Africa, imagine I saw on news that UK banning people that took shot of vaccine in Africa. This is a blow, you know. So it means if you got it in Africa, it's not correct. So these are the things that we fight for and we try to break from time to time. But the unfortunate situation is that is how it is right now. So start applying to Upworks. You can do that as a side gig. It doesn't stop you from your current job right now. And the good thing is that they are in different time zones, so you can even do it at night. So if you do this, they will help you to boost your profile. And you will not just be answering head of IT, but you will have track record of here and there that you have contributed to. That is what I would say. Diversify yourself, not just your portfolio, but yourself.
Thank you for that. And I think you've sort of answered for the two subcategory, but let me just ask you so you can reemphasize. One of them are people that are students in many different countries of the world, particularly Europe, and they are students. There's no pathway to settlement, and that is a problem for them. And so they are trying to figure out what will be their next step at this point. Are there some advice you can give them? And then, of course, the last category are people that are ready to apply immediately. Are there some advice you can give them around application? They've gotten job, applying for the visa, or they've not yet gotten the job, and application generally for people that are already ready to apply, like yesterday. So those that are students looking for a pathway to settlement, so they're already outside of Africa mostly, but need settlement, and then people ready to apply. What would you advise them?
If you are already in Europe and you are studying, and by now you should know what you actually want to do. That is very important thing to answer. What do you actually want to do as a profession? Is what you are studying, is it not what you want to do professionally? Because if that is the case, then I would say you need to start on time and start studying what you want to do professionally. And if you're in Europe, it's almost nothing that doesn't have a vacant for you. That's one thing about this foreign land. Whatever course they provide in a school, they have a pathway for you. They have opportunities for you. So you just have to, information is very important. Search on Google, ask friends around your school, get more information on the path that you're currently on. There might be opportunities for you there. It might not be in tech, but then you have to know the language if you're not in English-speaking country. Like in Germany, if you have to do HR or office assistant, those kind of document management things, you have to know how to speak German. And these are always some barriers to some people that are here. But the truth is, anything you're studying right now there are some students here that I know that they are studying and they are working also. Some of them might be menial jobs, some of them might be something related to their profession. And immediately they are out of school, they get a permanent role. So here they made it that easy. So if you're in Europe and you're just studying and doing some menial job that doesn't relate, start looking for your professional path. And for those that are willing to apply already, what I noticed on the application process, I know people always say applying for visas to outside countries is hard. Can be if you don't have the necessary documents and requirements. If you have everything that you need, just apply and pay the visa fee, you will get it. You will get it. There's no reason why they would deny you. Because for me, I had everything. And I walked in there and walked out with my visa, so there's no hand holding. Make sure you read the requirements properly. Make sure you know what is needed so you don't miss a document. When you miss a document, they see you as not being serious. Because if you are, you have to prepare yourself. And that is one of the things that some third party do for you. They help you to prepare your document. So make sure that all your documents are ready and original. Don't forge documents. Those things, they are going to give you bad record. And once it's discovered, that's the end. So make sure you are going with original. Make sure that you have the skills that you said you have, so that you don't get there and during probation, you are left stranded. This is also very important.
And that's something deep that Sunday has just mentioned as well, which is that in Emigrate community, we are not asking you to fake it or anything like that. We're asking you to be globally attractive. And if you are globally attractive, you would have options, whether it's remote jobs, whether it's relocation, whether it's you even staying in whatever your country of origin, whether Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, anywhere in Africa, you would have options and highly paid as well because you are a talent. Before we take Sunday's final word, I'll just mention that with the Emigrate community, We have several services, a lot of them free, some of them are premium. Emigrate Open Day currently happens twice a month. In 2 weeks' time, that will be on the 15th, I believe, of November. We will be having a global talent, 17th of November, actually, the third Wednesday of November. We will be having a global talent from UK, product manager. Today, we were speaking mostly to developers because, of course, Sunday is a full stack software engineer. But we'll be speaking to product managers as well during the next Emigrate session, where we'll be speaking with a UK global talent who would also be sharing our experience, and also we'll be sharing some tips for people, particularly if you're interested in the UK. And then right after that, I believe will be December 1, the first Wednesday in December, we would also be taking another journey to a different country, again, in addition to the Emigrate Open consultation. We do have premium services as well, some of them that are listed here that you may be interested in. We do have the short inquiry session, which you can take advantage of. However, please do all your research, read all the requirements, understand everything that is online already, that is already in public domain. So by the time you are coming for that kind of free session, you're asking questions that you could not find online, or clarification for things that you need. Don't come there and ask that, oh, what visas are available in Germany? That too, it was a waste of time and a waste of the opportunity, in our own opinion, because after that one free session, the next one you would have to pay for. So we prefer that you make the best use of it as a contribution to your career and your journey as well. In terms of Emigrate services, these are some of the things that are covered. We are not guaranteeing you a visa. We are not visa consultants. In fact, what we are doing is just sharing from our information and experience. Finally, before I hand over for final words from Sunday, would be that we do have a couple of other services aside from Emigrate, which focuses on tech-enabled visa pathways for relocation and settlement. We have other services within the Bincom Dev Center. One of the main ones, and I think is the Bincom Global Tech Program, where it can handle you from beginner level to the point where you are recognized as globally attractive across the world, both in Nigeria and also globally as well. And our Emigrate Premium Coaching Service is incorporated into this program. With the Bincom Global Tech Program, you are able, it's three major pillars. You learn skills, you gain the right experience, and you gain the right exposure in the field of technology. The cost is 1.2 million naira. However, the company is also able to invest in you to say that you can learn tech now and you can pay later, meaning that when you start earning high salary in the field of technology, that's when you start paying most of the fee for the program. This is useful for you if you're a beginner and you need to learn the right skills from the beginning to the level where you need to be. It is also useful for you if you already have the skill and your challenge is that you don't have the right experience, you don't have the right portfolio, you don't have the right community, and several other things that you need to be able to show yourself as globally attractive. This program is also able to help you with that. If you're interested in that, you can go to bincom.net/globaltech for you to register and indicate interest in that. And for some of us that are highly experienced, we have the Bincom Mentoring Platform, which is a formal mentoring platform. Technician visa, for example, one of the requirements for the technician visa is for you to show mentoring, but you can't just show mentoring as something informal. You need to show mentoring where you've mentored in a formal environment. And this is one of those platforms that can help you do that. Sunday, final words to our Emigrate community. I should first of all say thank you for spending your time with us. We spent much more longer than we expected, but I believe this was useful for the community, and I'm sure that we'll get fantastic feedback, both from the Emigrate Circle and also our free Emigrate community. But do you have some final words for the community at this point?
Yeah, I think that you are here and listening to these informations is already a sign that you are at the right path. And I would say, hearken to the voice of the master. Mr. Bade, I have a couple of experience coming up with Mr. Bade, and I believe you'll be in a good hand, honestly speaking. And yeah, I think I learned some aspects of what I live day by day from him, just being around, and it has been helping. So this is going to be a sweet and smooth journey for you guys, I will say. And I will say good luck to everything.
Thank you for that, Mr. Sunday. Yeah, and thank you for the feedback as well. For the community, we would just say one of the things I would say is that now that you have the information, now that you've seen people that have taken the pathway, would you take the next step and take action? Something I say to people is that they've already given you the answer script. They've already given you what it is that they expect your profile to match in the next 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 2 years. We don't even think it will take you longer than that, 2 years or 3 years, right? You already know that today. The question is, are you going to take the right action for you to build that specific knowledge so that your question paper will match the answer script? You have to take action. It's a lot of hard work. That needs sleepless nights, but at the end of the day, it will be beneficial, not just for you, but for your family as well, because you would have options. For some of us here today, particularly developers, you can also there's a lot of information that has been shared with you, particularly around what you should do, contributing to open source, building your GitHub profile, building your LinkedIn, making sure you have the right portfolio, making sure you get the right job and experience in your profile, and several other things along that line. And these are some of the things that we are also sharing within the Emigrate community in terms of some of the things that you should do as well. The question is, are you going to take that action? From an Emigrate point of view, a lot of things are available to you for free. Take advantage of those things. And if you need some of the premium services as well, they are available to you as well. Tell people about Emigrate. If you are finding out about some of these things for the first time, it is possible people in your community also are not aware, right? Be your brother's keeper, share this information far and wide, let them know that, oh, these opportunities exist. Even if you don't want to advertise Emigrate, which is a service of Beacon Dev Center, at least tell them about the visa and tech-enabled visa opportunities that do exist, because you will be helping them out as well. It will surprise you how many people, particularly in Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, that are not aware of these opportunities that exist. And they are for you. They are for you because you are a talent. And because you're a talent, various countries of the world is looking for you. With that being said, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we wish you the very, very best in your journey to becoming globally attractive. Thank you, everyone. And